Good morning, Staples. It's Saturday, and people keep on talking about this creativity gap. Is it a sickness or something? Am I vulnerable? No! Kind of. Adobe determined that 62% of Americans feel that the education system is taking part in the creativity gap. What? No, you're telling me standardized testing kindergartners takes part in this? Well, not all the factors that take part in the creativity gap are from the education system. We also see this in adulthood. 75% of respondents told Adobe that they're forced or put under pressure to be productive at work than creative. We see a lot of this in our distant and near past. In China, the government used to require an examination of people who wanted to take part in the government. The examination was composed of Confucius knowledge and ideas and even poetry. In the Western world, essays were stemmed from the ancient Greeks. The Greeks adored a Socratic method, which was a discussion to create new and enlightened ideas, which is what we want in today's essays. In the early 1800s, the Industrial Revolution pulled kids out of labor and put them behind desks. What they did was run massive amounts of students through standardized tests so that they can all be taught quickly. During World War I, the United States used aptitude tests, or Army mental tests, to assign servicemen jobs. Even before then, in 1905, Alfred Binet, a French psychologist, created the IQ test to test intelligence, and it too was a standardized test. Rumor has it, standardized testing replaced teachers in Germany during World War I during the teacher shortage. And then, in 1926, the famous SAT came out. The test lasted 90 minutes and it was composed of 315 questions, which include vocab, math, and basic analogy questions. Okay, let's do some analogy questions together. Ready? Green is to grass as blue is to violet. What? The answer was sky. Like blue is to sky? Okay. Following World War II, these analogies were widely accepted by universities and colleges. In 2005, these super premium analogies were replaced by the essay. But it was said that in 2016, we should expect the essay to be dropped. Woo! I graduated that year. There is the ACT. The ACT was created as competition for the SAT. Then there is the ACT. The ACT was created as competition for the SAT. Then there's the PSAT, which is an assessment of the National Merit Scholarship. If you're a finalist in the PSAT, the National Merit Scholarship will look at your overall grade as well as other school activities. Wow, that's a step up from standardized testing. While conducting this research, I found a Huffington Post article of a resignation letter of a social studies teacher. I'll be reading straight from it. This resignation letter was written by Ron Maggiano, an award-winning social studies teacher at West Springfield High School in Fairfax County. He was teaching there for 33 years. He says, "I believe that our current national obsession with high-stakes testing is wrong because it hurts kids and deprives students of an education that is meaningful, imaginative, and relative to the demands of the 21st century. Research shows that today's students need to be prepared to think critically, analyze problems, weigh solutions, and work collaboratively to successfully compete in the modern work environment. These are precisely the type of skills that cannot be measured by a multiple-choice standardized test." The fact is that we are not really educating our students. We are merely teaching them how to pass a test. And we are not preparing them for success at a college level or in a workplace. If we were, colleges and universities would not have to require remediation courses for incoming freshmen. And businesses and corporations would not have to spend millions to reteach skills their employees should have mastered after 12 years of education. He then brings up an Albert Einstein quote. "Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world." He then says, "It is, however, a threat to our students, their future, and our future as a nation. Life is not a multiple-choice test. The answer to life's most important questions are not A, B, C, or D." The ideas brought up in Ron's resignation letter are supported by an abundance of teachers around the world. And with the students here in Connecticut taking CAPS and CMTs, I hope they realize that learning is to discover and to have fun and to enjoy, rather than to learn how to take a test. Well, that's all from here, guys. I hope you enjoyed. DFTBA.